When people lie about being seriously sexually assaulted, it doesn't just impact the victims in that particular case. It also undermines confidence in genuine victims and may put people off reporting instances where they've been raped or seriously sexually assaulted. Hi everyone, welcome back to Andy on Crime. Today we're going to look at the case of Eleanor Williams, the 22-year-old who was jailed for 8.5 years for lying about being the victim of several serious sexual assaults. This included making false allegations of being groomed and raped by what she termed an Asian grooming gang, which led to protests, demonstrations and public disorder from those who believed her lies. In this video we're going to look at the facts of the case. We're going to look at the sentencing of Williams, and then we're going to talk about the damaging impact that cases such as this have on not just the male victims in this case, but also on genuine victims of serious sexual offences. The broad overview of this case, taken from the judge's sentencing remarks, were that Eleanor Williams, between October 2017 and May 2020, made a number of very serious allegations of sexual assault and physical violence being committed against her. These allegations were all lies. They impacted the victims to such an extent that some tried to take their own life, whilst others were remanded in custody while their case progressed through the criminal justice system. Eleanor Williams was charged with 9 different counts of perverting the course of justice, which simply put means that she was lying about the things that she said had happened to her. Within those charges, there were 3 identified males, but her allegations were also against a number of other unidentified males. Charge 1 related to an allegation against an individual known as C, where Williams had made false claims of being raped and seriously sexually assaulted by him. Charges 2, 3 and 4 related to false allegations of rape by an individual known as Jordan Trengove. In this case, Williams had fabricated messages supporting her allegations against him, and as a result of these allegations, Jordan Trengove was remanded into custody between May and August of 2019, before being released and told that no further action would be taken against him. Charges 5 and 6 referred to a third individual called Mohammed Ramzan. Williams made numerous allegations that Mohammed Ramzan was part of an Asian grooming gang and had raped and forced her to have sex with numerous different men. This was provably false by the evidence adduced by the prosecution during her trial. Charges 7 and 8 relate to unidentified individuals, where Williams claimed she was either raped by a gang of traffickers, or in relation to charge 8, that she'd been subject to injury inflicted on her by use of a hammer. These charges were also false, with Williams having been pictured on CCTV purchasing the hammer herself from Tesco. And finally, charge 9. This relates to charge 8, whereby Williams had written a letter to her sister asking her to place the hammer in her bedroom as an attempt to create a false defence to charge 8. Williams had earlier pleaded guilty to this offence. So in total there were 9 charges against Williams, 8 of which she was convicted of following a trial, and 1 charge, charge 9, that she had earlier pleaded guilty to. In addition to the allegations, Williams had also made a Facebook post on the 20th of May 2020, where she posted photos of apparent injuries and stated that she had been raped by 3 Asian men. This led to months of public demonstrations, as well as targeting of the local Asian community, as well as the local press and the local police. There were also acts of vandalism and death threats made by far-right vigilantes who had believed the lies of Eleanor Williams. When it came to sentencing, the judge highlighted that Williams showed no significant sign of remorse for her actions, and even as of now, there appears to be no motive or explanation for her actions. He did take into account her age, her being 17 or 18 on some of the counts, and that even now as a 22-year-old, she is immature for her age. When sentencing someone for a criminal offence, the judge is looking to place the offence in a category, and this is based on 2 factors, culpability and harm. And the higher the culpability and the higher the harm, the higher the category and therefore the starting point for the offence is. Now, in cases such as this for perverting the course of justice, there are no definitive sentencing guidelines. There are only general principles to take into account when sentencing an individual. So with reference to the specific charges in this case, the judge stated that the culpability and harm for all of these offences was high and sentenced accordingly. For the identified victims in this case, in charges 1 to 6, the impact was significant. For Jordan Trengove, he had rapists spray painted on the side of his house and spent time in prison on the basis of Williams' lies. It became so bad that he attempted to take his own life, and it has impacted the relationship with his child. For Mohammed Ramzan, he also was targeted by members of the Barrow community, suffering vandalism and death threats, and he also attempted to kill himself in front of his own family. The judge ultimately passed a sentence of 8.5 years, and I've put a link to the judge's sentencing remarks in the description, and I would encourage everyone to read. What this means is that Eleanor Williams will serve half of her sentence in prison before being released on licence, where she'll be subjected to a number of conditions for the remainder of her sentence. And if she breaches those conditions, she could be liable to recall to prison and may spend the rest of her sentence in prison. Cases such as this have a profound impact on the falsely accused. As the judge highlighted in his sentencing remarks, both Jordan Trengove and Mohammed Ramzan attempted to take their own life as a result of these lies and the allegations that were hanging over them. There are no winners in cases such as this. The other people that are impacted on this are genuine victims of serious sexual assault. As the judge stated in his sentencing remarks, the harm of this offending extends to an undermining of public confidence in the criminal justice system. We are aware that sex trafficking of young females does occur. There is a risk that genuine victims will, as a result of this defendant's actions, feel deterred from reporting it. People may be less likely to believe their allegations. I am sure that those charged with investigating such offences will do all in their power to avoid any reluctance to investigate such allegations. The number of complaints relating to serious sexual offences which end in a successful prosecution are low. The charity Rape Crisis states for every 100 rapes which are reported to the police, only one ends with a successful prosecution. Even more victims of rape do not report, citing embarrassment, fear the police will not believe them, or that the case will be humiliating for them. Cases like this one do nothing to change that view. Now, this video is not to suggest that there are people who do not lie about being seriously sexually assaulted. This case proves otherwise. What I am saying, however, is that cases such as this are not the norm. There are many more unreported cases of serious sexual assaults. So to summarise, Eleanor Williams lied about numerous instances where she claimed to have been sexually assaulted, raped, or been groomed as part of an Asian grooming gang. She was charged with 9 charges, one of which she pleaded guilty to, and the other 8 where she was convicted following a trial, and she was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison. The thing to take away from a case such as this is that the impact that this has not only on the male victims in this case, which was significant, but also the impact this has on the confidence in genuine victims of sexual offending from coming forward and reporting as such so that people can be prosecuted. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video informative. If you do have any comments, please post them down below. If you did like this video, please consider giving it a like. And if you'd like to see more content from me, please do subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Take care.